Today, another unboxing video. Gandalf. And I'll test all that stuff right away. Furthermore, there is news from the visitor from Canada.
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I sleep all night and I work all day.
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
Okay, where was I? Of course, at the unboxing video. Right. My sponsor today is... Am I Casey Neistat? Of course I don't have a sponsor, but I wouldn't mind. So if anyone wants to support me, contact details can be found in the channel info on YouTube. And as you've perhaps already noticed, I've renamed my YouTube channel. My old name, Quibs, originated many years ago in a rather peculiar way. All the names I found interesting were already taken, so in frustration, I just hit the keyboard randomly, and thus, Quips was born. I was never really satisfied with the choice, but I couldn't come up with anything better that wasn't already taken. Plus, the name was never all that important to me. But now, as my channel continues to grow, I believe it's especially important to have something that fits the content. Recently, while writing a post on Party Bowl BBS, the phrase "as an old 300 board guy" suddenly caught my eye. That's it. I'm the 300 board guy. To my great surprise, the name wasn't taken anywhere, not even on Gmail, where almost every name is already claimed. I also updated the visuals and other elements of the page to match. So my new channel name isn't actually copied from the 8-bit guy as much as it might initially sound. By the way, David, maybe it was a similar coincidence for you back then with the naming process? And while we're on the subject of Mr. Murray, for anyone who hasn't seen the video about his visit to Snobsoft yet, I'll link it under this video. Okay, now that everything has been clarified, let's move on to a particularly interesting visit to Snobsoft in recent times. It was another weekend, which have recently become filled with chat highlights, when I managed to invite the visitor to a chat just in time, shortly before Snobsoft's inactivity timeout of 1 minute. No, thank you, the visitor replied with a grin in German to my question in English. I just suspect that I have forgotten my login credentials. No problem. Your username? I fear both, actually. But by the way, I wanted to talk to you anyway, wrote the visitor. This is one of those moments where I become particularly attentive. Could it be a former Snobsoft user who was active on the BBS more than 40 years ago? So I immediately asked, do we know each other? I don't think so. Although I also had a BBS back then. But that was many moons ago. I just wanted to know, since the BBS is running on a Commodore 64, whether you might need a replacement C64 or 1 or 2 floppy drives. Yes, of course, I replied happily. Shall we get in touch via email? I I also have no hesitation in giving you my phone number if that's okay with you, came the cheerful reply. Sure, I replied, delighted, as quick as a flash. The very next day, we spoke on the phone and sorted out, among other things, how I was to receive the hardware donation, which, as it turned out, was coming from Dortmund. And just like that, about 2 weeks later, the rather heavy package from the generous Snobsoft supporter was in front of me. And it even arrived, as I had asked Dietmar to specifically use Hermes for the delivery. Another major provider, whose name escapes me at the moment, operates so disastrously in my experience that it's almost guaranteed nothing will arrive, as they claim you were not available. Pretty much everyone in Germany will know who I mean. All right, let's see what treasures Dietmar has brought me here. Okay, this might be the obligatory C64 power supply. Not quite the look I'm familiar with from the doorstop of my 1983 breadbox model. Let's see what else is hiding in here. Yes, Gandalf.
You shall not pass!
Great name. How awesome. A switcher from 8 to 9. Perfect for Snobsoft or the second floppy, which needs 9. You should know that my second 1541 is already a bit weak, so this replacement is perfect. Many, many thanks, Dietmar. Well, what do we have here? A neat piece indeed. Nothing tinkered with so far. Everything is original. No modifications, no holes, and so on. Here's a bit of patina. Some battle scars. But nothing really serious. Ah, made in USA, but a German model with a German keyboard layout. Is that something special? I'm not really familiar with the different Commodore 64 models. I was never a collector or anything like that. It's only now, as the sysop of Snobsoft, that this hardware blessing has arrived. Here we have more battle scars. Well, no wonder with a floppy connected named Gandalf. Stirred up some Black Riders again, perhaps. All right, that's it. Here it is again in all its glory. Once again, many, many thanks, Dietmar. Now, of course, we want to check all the treasures from the unboxing for their functionality. Getting the right socket can be a bit tricky here and there. Now for the cable to the monitor. What's still missing? Of course, my new old C64 still needs some juice. Speaking of new, I could skip the cleaning sequence from my last unboxing this time. Dietmar's computers look like they were straight out of the box and sparkling clean. What you're looking at here again are the battle scars on Gandalf. What appears to be a semicircle burned into the case could incidentally also come from something like a cable that was stored under pressure on the case for a long time. I think I heard something like that once. Sounds strange, but it could be true. Okay, but let's not lose sight of what's important. Does the C64 even work? Well, let's turn it on then. Oops, no red light?
It's a blue light.
What does it do?
Turns blue.
Thank you, Rambo, for the expert tip. But on the Commodore 64, the red light in this case stands for a bit more. Okay, you're already guessing the solution. Here's the ultimate expert tip, straight from the absolute pros. We'll try the whole thing again, this time with the power supply's cable plugged into the socket so the computer can work. Voila! It's for groundbreaking insights like these that videos like this exist. And the same goes for the power cable for the floppy drive. There we go. There it is, the magnificent C64 startup screen. First, double-check the very useful device switch on the floppy to see what it's set to. So I can now test everything on disk 2 of the Snobsoft BBS. Back in the day, when I had to manually cut a trace on my old 1541 for a device change, this brilliant mod from Dietmar now makes it simple and elegant with just a switch. Okay, let's test with the directory. Works. Now let's switch to 9. Oops. Okay, of course. You should press the reset switch on the floppy beforehand. Now it works. I would call this a complete success, a functioning system so far. A great addition to the Snobsoft BBS. And what's still missing now?
He's a lumberjack and he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day.
Of course, the news from the Snobsoft visitor from Canada. To my great delight, he actually got in touch on YouTube. For those who don't have a clue what's going on, I'll link the mentioned Canada video below the clip. I'm already looking forward to your next Snobsoft visit, eFission. Your reserved spot in the bursting at the seams 40-year-old user list is already saved. I'm especially delighted by the great response to my 8-bit guy video. Feel free to comment under the video what you'd like to see next. I'm open to all topic suggestions. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like or subscribe. Also, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Share the video or recommend it to others.